Right. Calling any Hollywood execs that are listening, a few years ago, Sony in particular planned to do a crossover between 21 Jump Street and the Men in Black franchise. That plan fell through and the grave got buried over when Men in Black International tanked. However, the Jump Street series is still very much loved. So, with Bad Boys now back in the limelight, all I'm saying is that I've got a script ready to go. Hollywood, Sony, just DM me on Twitter and I'm sure that we can sort something out. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Luke's Reviews, and on today's video I'll be reviewing Bad Boys for Life. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are back as the bad boys, and Michael Bay, he is far away. Now, it's been 17 years since the Bad Boys graced our screens. Mike and Marcus are older, although not that much wiser. Mike is still a hothead who enjoys the thrill of the chase, whereas Marcus is beginning to choose to settle down and retire. However, they're sprung back into action when Mike's past begins to catch up with him, and they're tasked to stop Miami turning into a war zone. Now, to give you an idea of my opinion on the Bad Boys films up to this one, I've got to be honest, I'd never actually seen them until I was ready to go into Bad Boys for Life. I sat and watched 1 and 2 just beforehand, and what did I think of them? I hate them. I don't like them. I can understand the appeal. They're just not my cup of tea. I think the first Bad Boys is a really flat, dull, and messy movie. And Bad Boys 2,
there's a papa rat humping the shit out of this mama rat.
Yeah.
Good time.
You ever made love to a man? No. You want to?
But the biggest culprit for me is Michael Bay. With his direction, the movies are like an ADHD crack addict. That second movie is the cinematic equivalent of getting whiplash for 2.5 hours. They're immature, obnoxious, egotistical. They're just not good movies. And so unsurprisingly, I really wasn't that fussed about a third one. Thankfully, Bay is nowhere to be seen behind the camera this time, and for the third film, we now have the directors Adil Arbi and Bilall Fallah. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing your names correctly, and I'm probably butchering them, so sorry. And it's clear that the difference in style, tone, and focus make this, in my opinion, the best of the Bad Boys series, and actually a really good film. I like this film. It's not an action film that I'm going to remember years to come, but for the moments in which you're in your seat watching the movie, it's a good time. The biggest improvement here undoubtedly is just the overall treatment. My issue with the first two is that it felt like an action parody, but no one was in on the joke. And so here, they're still having fun with it, but it's a slightly more mature approach. They're addressing that these characters are slightly older, and that it's less chaotic and more focused on what it wants to do, the story that it wants to tell, and specifically that's apparent in the treatment of its characters. Bad Boys 1 and 2 literally consist of banter, explosions, banter, explosions. Rinse and repeat and just go around in a circle. Here, the script chooses to actually give the characters some layers. Mike, for example, Will Smith's character, was always the hothead, the cool, badass cop who loved the violence and get a kick out of it. Whereas now, that kind of thing gets called into question. Is that lifestyle that he's living as glamorous as it used to be? And as for Will Smith and Martin Lawrence coming back into these roles, 17 years after Bad Boys 2, 25 years now total from Bad Boys 1, they still have it. My only real positive with the first two films was the chemistry between the two stars. They made it tolerable in some respects. And here, you have that chemistry still going so very strong. But now you're getting it from the point of view that they're slightly older. and the issues that may come with that they're no longer in their prime, and it actually becomes kind of funny. And it is really good to see that Will Smith is still a competent action star, because I'm not gonna lie, Will, you have me really worried with Gemini Man. Everyone else in the film does what is required of them, but very little else. You come to this movie for the boys, and the boys don't disappoint. As for the action, it's nothing mind-blowing. You've kind of seen a lot of these set pieces before, but it is entertaining enough to keep that 2-hour runtime, that pace, smooth and quick, and you don't really feel the minutes tick by. As for issues, I still don't think I've been won over as a Bad Boys fan. It's 2 bad films to 1 good one. Although, if this series were to continue, I'm actually kind of interested to see where it goes. I'm not as negative as I was in regards to a new Bad Boys film. I'd be up for it. But really, aside from where they've taken these characters, the central story is really unimpressive and kind of a very safe story. I feel like the studio and directors were kind of like, let's play it safe, let's reintroduce everyone back to these characters, to this duo, and then if we want to make a Bad Boys 4, which I believe they've greenlit now, then we can go from there and do some more fun stuff. I'm just hoping that Michael Bay stays very, very far away. All in all, look, if you're a fan of the series, Bad Boys for Life is likely to be more of what you love. Although, for someone who has been critical of these movies, I have to say that I enjoyed this. It's nothing special, but with the clearer focus, the more mature approach, and the charisma of the 2 leading men, this is a fairly easy and straightforward trip to the movies. Overall, I'm going to give Bad Boys for Life a 6.5 out of 10. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts on Bad Boys for Life. Let me know what you thought of the film down in the comments below, as well as my question to you. What is your favourite Bad Boys movie? Thanks for watching! Let me know what you thought of this film down in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. The links to all of my social media accounts are in the description below. Many thanks for watching guys, and I shall see you in the next video.